How might something like this work its way through the Congress?
Well, hopefully we can avoid,
Yeah, well,
having to go through a crisis. That's the plan here. Um, well, you take advantage of every legislative opportunity you have. We have a couple of funding fights coming up this fall, where the government has to be funded, and it should be. There's a lot of important things the federal government does. Yes, there's some nonsense that's muddled through there, but that's an opportunity to pass things like we haven't really talked about yet, but the Prevent Government Shutdowns Act, which was government shutdowns are something the Jimmy Carter administration created. Congress never did. There might be, something in there to say that presidents can give the State of the Union once Congress has received the budget request. Things like that. We could have a fiscal commission. There are other options for the funding challenges that are coming up here. There is actually going to be a vote in the House of Representatives in this month of September on balanced budget amendments. Not quite sure what the process will look like, but I published a piece, a blog post 2 weeks ago, talking about how they should learn from what happened in 1995. They got a BBA over the top, where different versions competed. They had a robust markup process in the judiciary committees. And people were familiar with the different possibilities and the advantages and disadvantages of each of those. And then at the end of the day, the House had a series of votes through a Queen of the Hill process, where the substitute amendment that gets the most votes becomes the text for final passage. And so they voted on a conservative one, four progressive ones, and then the broadly bipartisan one, which passed 300 to 132. And so, since we don't have that history of bipartisan consensus working together on BBAs right now, we have to restore that. And competing BBAs on the floor through an inclusive process like that is probably the best way to get people thinking seriously about this stuff again.